Okay, so what I'm going to try to attempt to show here is how to take indium metal, which is indeed a metal, and wet it, or basically get it to bond to a non-metallic surface like a piece of glass, like this microscope slide. So what I have here is a hot plate, just a very typical hot plate that is set to 200 degrees C, and the reason for that is because indium melts at 157 degrees C, so I want to be well above the melting point of indium because the indium does have to be liquid to bond to the non-metallic surface. So I'm just going to take this piece of glass, again this is just a microscope slide, and set it on top of the hot plate. I've already warmed up the hot plate to 200 degrees C, and just going to place a piece of indium on here now, and hopefully it will melt. And once it melts, I'm going to take another microscope slide and just kind of mash it down on top of it and move it around and get the two of them to bond together. And I'm not really sure why the indium's not melting yet. I may have to turn up the temperature a little bit. Indium is a very soft metal. It's in terms of the flow stress of indium, it's actually 8 times, if you think in terms of flow stress, it's 8 times softer than lead. The flow stress of lead is about 1800 psi. The flow stress of indium metal is 280 psi. It's a much softer metal. And this is just not, doesn't want to cooperate as far as melting goes, which doesn't make making a video very easy. So I've got cranking up the heat here on the hot plate. And wasting time. There we go, it's starting to melt now. Okay. So, it's melting pretty well now. So I'm going to take my second microscope slide, put it on top of it, just kind of mash it together. And indium has actually come out of the sides here. And I'm just going to take this, and what's nice about the bonding of indium metal to and I didn't do a very good job here, but because there's a lot of the indium was oxidizing, and the oxidation kind of makes a gray looking material there. But basically a good visual way to see if the indium metal has bonded to the glass is that when you look at the reverse side of the glass, you'll get a perfect reflection, or a perfect reflective surface, just like you would. It looks very much like a mirror. Matter of fact, it looks exactly like a mirror, where it has bonded well to the glass surface. Now, this is still pretty hot, but I'm going to try to demonstrate here that this is glass. I'm not going to tweak it too much because I don't want the glass to break, but these are effectively now bonded together. I've used a piece of metal, indium metal, to bond, or solder almost, if you can think of it that way, two non-metallic surfaces, two pieces of glass together using indium metal. Not many metals will bond to a non-metallic surface like glass. As a matter of fact, the only other one that I know of is gallium, which is virtually liquid at room temperature. It melts at about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the only other metal that will readily wet to a non-metallic surface like glass.